Yo, guys, welcome. Welcome, guys. This is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Guys, whoa. Okay, I'm hopping on tonight. I was actually planning on doing a little Minecraft stream. We were gonna go to the Nether this time. It was gonna be a nice, chill night of Minecraft. But then, dude, what happens? I check on my phone. I check Instagram. What do I see? Explosions going off in the middle of Caracas, Venezuela. The war has begun. The U.S. has struck. Nicolas Maduro, his days are numbered. The communist narco state is falling as we speak. Guys, it's insane. Insane. So, take a look. So I tried to get on Twitter, guys. It's not letting me log in. Now I'm gonna try, again here. But I don't know why it's not letting me log in at all. It's just not letting me. Like, man. So I go miles of meters. Oh, actually, it might be letting me. Let's see if I even remember my password. So yeah, basically, the most amount of stuff about this is on X. I don't actually remember what my password is. Yeah, sorry that I'm doing this right now, but just a minute ago, it wasn't even letting me log in. I have a feeling that maybe their servers are overloaded with so many people coming on. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, guys, while I'm doing this, let's just jump right into it, guys. Check this out. Yeah, so CNN, yeah, it sucks, whatever. But let's check this out here. Well, anyway, yeah, so they're basically saying pretty much what's going on. A CNN team witnessed several explosions and heard the sounds of aircraft released Saturday in the Venezuelan capital Caracas and reported some areas of the city were without electricity. Venezuela's government condemned what it said was a very serious, grave military aggression by the U.S. against multiple parts of the country after explosions were reported in Caracas and other locations. It accused the U.S. of carrying out an attack on Caracas in the states of Miranda, Aragua, and La Guaria. La Guaria, like airport, New York, okay? said President Nicolas Maduro, dictator Nicolas Maduro, had signed a state of emergency and ordered all national defense plans to be implemented at the appropriate time and under the appropriate circumstances. Dude, the appropriate time is now. If you're the Venezuelans, man, if you're Maduro, if you're one of these guys, the appropriate time is now. You got Chinook helicopters going up above your capital city, blowing stuff up. Dude, what are you doing, man? I don't know. But yeah, CNN reached out to the White House, State Department, and the Pentagon, and Southern U.S. Command for comment on the explosions. They referred the inquiries to the White House. White House has not responded to their request. The one was so strong, my window was shaking after it. That's generally how bombs work. Let's see them live. I'm assuming they're probably going to be talking about this. What? Well, I guess it's not free. Okay. CNN sucks anyway. Guardian. Whoa, my God. I'm not giving any money to Guardian. You're crazy, dude. How do I get to their live? There's no paywall here yet. You guys are asking me for cash. Well, here. Let's tune in. I know TikTok sucks. It's Chinese. They're going to get all our information. I know. But, it's not like they don't already have all of our information as it is. So, yeah, this is Venezuela free news, freedom for Venezuela news. I think this is like an opposition channel here on TikTok. Let's see. Let's hop into their live. What is this, man? Hold on. So I searched up Venezuela. Let's go on live because I saw that there's quite a few people streaming live from Venezuela on TikTok. You know, they gotta make sure to start live streaming. They gotta get their dodos going. That's for sure. So we'll take a look at this.
No, a mí no me alegra la guerra. A mí me alegra de que todo está sucediendo en pro a la transición de lo que toda Venezuela quiere.
Saying that this is going to be, he doesn't want war, or at least if I understood correctly, he doesn't want war, but he hopes that this will be the transition that all of Venezuela wants. Okay, all right, come on, let's get something good here. Yeah, so that's a video here of the Chinook helicopters heading over. Yeah, look, so they're saying that there was a oil refinery in the city of Caracas that was struck. Okay, basically, guys, so we understand sort of what's happening here. Essentially, all of a sudden around 2 a.m. Venezuela time, or Caracas time, all of a sudden, explosions started going off around the capital, and big ones, and as well as in other areas of Venezuela. And you saw Chinook helicopters going over Venezuela, and there was no official announcement of, hey, we are going to be striking Venezuela. No, it just sort of happened. There was just bombs just started going off, stuff started blowing up, and they know for sure that it was that's U.S. forces doing this because there are Chinook helicopters there, and Venezuela does not have Chinook helicopters, right? So, managed to get over to Twitter. I managed to get into my account. Let's check this out a little bit, huh? We've got Trump ordered strikes on site inside Venezuela, including military facilities. Maduro has issued a decree declaring a state of emergency in the country. Let's check this out. Yeah, this is one of the ones we saw on the live broadcast here. Boom. So what we're seeing in this video, we're seeing a huge amount of secondary explosions from this strike, which means that this hit somewhere where there was ammunition, bombs, rockets, something of that nature. So this was a strike against definitely, clearly a military target in Venezuela. So, it doesn't seem like, they're bombing civilians or anything like that. This is bombing that's targeted, at least so it seems so far, against oil infrastructure, for example, with the refinery, but mostly military infrastructure, as it seems. Let's check this next one. Make sure to test my audio, see how this is sounding. Yeah, wow. Okay. Yeah, so this one I believe was the oil. This one is definitely the oil refinery. Yeah, one thing I'm going to do is turn up the volume for the desktop audio here. Yeah. Yeah, that's big explosion there. Oil refinery just going up. And we got some fires coming out. Fires being started, of course, by the strikes, which is to be expected.
Mira, huevón, durísimo, chamo. Ya vas a ver un incendio, pero una vaina. Oye, marico, oye, algo está pasando.
Jesus, dude.
Ignacio, mete otra vaina en el aeropuerto, papá.
¿Qué hacemos? ¿Qué se queda allá?
Obviously, as with any wartime situation, you gotta feel bad for the people who are stuck in the middle of this, because it's like, it's not really that the average person in any of these places really has much control over the fact that they're living under a communist government, the fact that their president is the leader of the cartel of the Suns, the fact that this is a narco state that they're living in. It's not really their fault. So, obviously you gotta feel pretty bad that all these people, they're getting woken up, at 2 a.m. But hey, man, this is what's going on with people in Ukraine for several years now. They've been spending almost every night having to get up and, at a similar hour, woken up by explosions, and their government is allied with the Russians. So, you reap what you sow. But, still, obviously it's not the average person's fault. And now we have to remember that part of this is about liberating your average person in Venezuela from the tyranny of their government. Excellent. Thus to all communists.
Mira allá, mira.
Yeah, hills are on fire. So,
Mira allá, mira.
one thing, bring up Caracas in the map here. So, yeah, wow. I mean, this is a big operation, man. We're gonna show those Russians how you really do a special military operation, my friends. We're gonna show them how it's really done. Holy cow, dude. My goodness, guys, my goodness. How do I, oh, there we go. Yeah, so, yeah, guys, so it's hard to say, obviously, exactly where that was. I'm not, too good for triangulating locations just based on a video. But as you can see, especially when we turn this into terrain map mode, that it's not a flat area that Caracas is in. Now, there's sort of like a more or less flat area that I think where the historic center of the city is, or even then it's pretty hilly. Even then, as you can see, there's a lot of little hills here, but there's a very large amount of large hills and mountains surrounding. I mean, it's in a mountainous region. It's essentially almost like part of the city is in a valley within this coastal mountain range here. So, yeah, these strikes are going off basically in a lot of the hills surrounding the city itself. And from a lot of these videos, they seem to be from up on some of these hills. And as you can see, a lot of them are populated with various neighborhoods. Some of these are pretty gnarly looking neighborhoods, I gotta tell you guys. Just by the looks of them. They've got their like almost commie blocks going on over here in the flat areas, but you have all sorts of their outlying neighborhoods. They're looking pretty wild. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly where their capital is. I'm thinking this is sort of their downtown. You have the National Cemetery here, the Pantheon National. Yeah, so I'm thinking this is more or less the city center. Oh yeah, Centro. So yeah, okay, yeah, this is the city center here in sort of more or less flat area. So they mentioned, okay, so there are strikes going in the LaGuardia province. So that would be, of course, this coastal area right beyond that. And I'm not familiar with the provinces of Venezuela. So LaGuardia, well, okay, that's the city of LaGuardia. It's the capital city of the Venezuelan state of the same name. Interesting that it's a very small little place, although it seems to be, oh yeah, it's their main port, the main port for the city of Caracas, I would presume, unless they have another one. Yeah, it seems to be the largest port in the area, which is really actually quite geographically pretty atrocious. I mean, you have the main port here, and you have to take it all the way over here through these mountains. I mean, I suppose it's not the longest way, but, it's definitely not a port city, Caracas. Not the best geography for a capital city, in my opinion. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not a fan. Yeah, LaGuardia province. Yeah, so I take it, so LaGuardia province, Venezuela. Oh, LaGuardia state. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, there you go. This is the state of LaGuardia. Okay, so it's this whole coastal area here. Including, yeah, we got the airport right here, and I'm assuming in this port, was where we saw one of the strike on the refinery, although I don't see anything that looks quite like a refinery here. Let's see if we can find a oil refinery. See if we can find one. Copy Petrol. There was one I thought that it looked like in the video that it was in the middle of a port. Might have been one on another part of the country, or it may have been just they may have just been striking the port infrastructure here in LaGuardia, and people were mistaking it for refinery in the video. That is a possibility. So let's bring back up the news articles about this here. I know the CNN article did mention the list of provinces, or states rather, I guess. They're states. Miranda State. Where's, okay. Oh, so this actually includes, like, basically most of the eastern edge of the Caracas metro area, actually. That's interesting. So I'm assuming probably when they're saying strikes in Miranda State, they're probably referring to this whole, the eastern end of the Caracas area. Although, I mean, who knows? There could be other strikes in other areas around this province as well, or the state as well. The state of Aragua. I'm assuming that's just going to be the state on the other side of Caracas. Basically, yeah. Let me see. They don't. Oh, usually in Google Maps you can see like the state line, and they'll have like here we go. Okay, yeah. So yeah, LaGuardia, Miranda, sort of goes around Caracas, Capital District, and over here, there's the Aragua province, and so I'm wondering if the strikes were located over on these coastal areas. There doesn't really seem to be much infrastructure here on this coast. Pretty rocky. Puerto Cruz, not a whole lot there. I'm assuming some of them were close to the city of Maracay, within the city of Maracay. This looks like this could possibly be Ciudad Socialista de los Aviadores. Socialist City of the Aviators. Yeah. Okay, so this is a military base right here, as I thought. So this is probably getting just knocked, just getting decimated. See if you can see what kind of crap they have laying out. Yeah, guys, I mean, I'm not an aviation expert, but these do not look super new, that's for sure. And if they were lying out there while these strikes started, they're probably gone. Yeah, and these hangars are probably gone. Yeah, so this is a big, valid military target within this area in the Aragua state. So were there any other states? Miranda, Aragua, LaGuardia. Okay, yeah. So basically, they're pretty much striking this sort of region around the capital over here, right? They did mention that there was strikes on, what was it? Someone mentioned that there were strikes on one of the islands. What was its name? Something that started with an M. See what the BBC has to say about this. Trump orders strikes at Caracas. Officials tell CBS. as Venezuela declares national emergency. Yep, we got the Chinook helicopters flying overhead. This video again. So what we know, President Donald Trump has ordered strikes on sites in Venezuela, including the capital and military facilities. Venezuela rejects and denounces military aggression as President Maduro declares a state of emergency. Oh, wow. You know, I saw one of the article headlines. It was like, Venezuela blames the attacks on U.S. aggression, which is kind of hilarious because it's like saying, Venezuela blames the U.S. for the U.S. attacks, or they blame U.S. attacks for the U.S. attacks. It's basically what it's saying. It's nuts. Heart was pumping and legs are shaking, says journalist Vanessa Silva, who lives in Caracas. Okay. Kind of a little strange that you live in a capital of a communist country. Ione Wells, all right. Okay. She said the sound of an explosion was huge and stronger than thunder, causing her home to vibrate. Caracas is a valley, right? So the sound echoed around the city. Yeah, I bet. That's some shock and awe going on here. My heart was pumping and legs are shaking, said, saying that she was scared of how close by the explosions were, but that they did seem very precise. Right. Right. Well, and see, that's what separates the U.S. and other Western powers from guys like the Russians, you know? Well, and even you see this phenomena, by the way, in the Thai-Cambodian War. Neither of those are, traditionally Western countries, but Thailand is the more westernized, and they have an army that is Western supplied and goes by Western military doctrines. And so you see them doing precision strikes while the Cambodians are a Chinese-supplied military, and they essentially apply a Soviet or Chinese-based doctrine, and they use huge multiple-launch rocket systems as their primary long-range weapon rather than missile strikes or aviation strikes. And you just see them just blasting Katyusha rockets everywhere. I don't know if they're Katyusha, but multiple launch rocket systems. So just launching in the general direction of the enemy, hitting whatever they want to hit, not caring at all. So that is a difference. A relative of hers saw something fall from the sky, and 10 seconds later heard a boom. So the thing is, some people criticizing this whole thing because, like I said, so Maduro was open, like this says, Maduro says he's open to U.S. talks on drug trafficking in an interview this week. Yeah, but, it's... so he says, right? It's like, that's El Chapo is willing to, negotiate about drug trafficking. Like, come on, it's. On Thursday, so the Venezuelan president Nicolas Maduro said he was open to talks with the U.S. on drug trafficking and oil whenever or wherever and whenever they want. In the interview with the Venezuelan state TV, Maduro also avoided responding to a statement by President Trump that the U.S. had hit a docking facility in Venezuela, marking the first such attack inside the country reportedly carried out by the CIA. Good old CIA, guys. I got to tell you guys, I'm personally a based CIA enjoyer, personally. A few days before the Maduro interview, Trump said the U.S. carried out a strike on the dock area linked to the alleged Venezuelan drug boats, adding that there had been a major explosion where they load the boats up with drugs. Ooh. Got you guys. Got you guys. Yeah, when it comes to CIA, yeah, it's what was that? What was that meme, man? What was the meme? It's like let me find it real quick. Let me find it real quick. Hold on. It was the yeah. This is the one. This is the one. Yeah, you got this format. This format always reminds me of this format, right? I'm. Let me get this straight. You think Star Wars Rebels is a great show? It is, and I'm tired of pretending it's not. It's like, let me get this straight. You think that the just black this out, CIA is good or is great? It is. I do think so. And I'm tired of pretending it's not. I'm tired of pretending I don't. Anyway. So how rattled will people in Venezuela be following strikes? Very, I think. Yeah. I was about to say even before I looked at this, like, very? I've been speaking to Venezuelan journalists who are concerned for themselves and their family. I spoke to one colleague via video who kept the lights out. She lives quite close to La Carlota, which is a military airstrip in the very center of Caracas. La Carlota, military airstrip in the middle of Caracas. Is that right? So it's only highlighting this area. La Carlota. Where's the airstrip? In the middle of Venezuela, an airstrip. La Carlota Air Base. Oh, how did I miss it? Yeah, wow, okay, so they're striking this area. Yeah, okay, military air base right in the middle of the city, guys. Wow. Right next to these freeway systems. These actually look like pretty solid freeways. No doubt, I would assume built before the current regime. Probably before Chavez as well. Yeah, so we got helicopters, quite a few of them. It's more pretty old looking aircraft. Yeah, these are not looking exactly like any 6th generation fighter jets, that's for sure. There's a random cars stored here. Looks like a big pile of junk or garbage or something. A bunch of shipping containers lying around. These look like potentially buses. Centro Convenciones Parque Bolivar. Okay, that's convention center. It's pretty janky looking. Looks all right. Inside, they're doing the big. Oh yeah, like, gotta love this, man. Yeah, Venezuela. Apparently, their map within their country includes this part of Guyana. There, if you guys remember when they were thinking of going after Guyana, man. Yeah, that's because they had, for the longest time, they've been claiming this part of Guyana as part of their own country. Yeah, come and take it. Okay. Yeah, it looks like there's like some kind of yeah. So Parque Simon Bolivar. So the Simon Bolivar Park, right next to it. Okay, so it's kind of a oh, that's just kind of mediocre. Oh yeah, you gotta have these like weird like exercise park exercise machines. Of course, you gotta have those. I first saw those in parks in Asia. Later, I noticed in different parts of Latin America they have them as well. Yeah, I mean, man, you got this little like artificial lake, and look at this, like these palm trees, man. What the hell? Those are like the saddest, most pathetic palm trees I think I've ever seen. And they have like one of them every like 50 feet. No, like every like 100, 200 feet. Dude, this is embarrassing. This is a pretty embarrassing park, to be honest. Nice looking bird. Man, this to be like, Simon Bolivar Park in the middle of the capital. This is pretty embarrassing. I'm not going to lie to you guys. That's pretty embarrassing. Wow. Petting zoo or something in here? Got everyone doing their park exercises. Next to, like what looks like some old military aircraft. Okay. Yeah, I have a feeling that after this, this park might have some collateral damage done to it, but I think we'll live. Yeah, General Command of the Military Aviation. Yeah, General Command of the Bolivarian Military Aviation. Yes, this is going up. This is gone. I mean, these buildings are probably already gone. Right here. Maybe not the ecclesiastical, maybe not the little church here. The little chapel. But all the rest of this stuff, that's gone already. These planes are gone. Yeah, man, they're blowing this airbase to smithereens. The one over here we saw, that's gone already, I'm sure. Yeah. So it's a military airstrip in the very center of Caracas. You could see what was unfolding from a window. She contacted me with updates. She's also receiving similar images from friends and family across social media, backing up what she was seeing, but in other parts of the city. The sense of a coordinated event was very acute. You can manage how frightening that is for ordinary people, whether they agree with Maduro or oppose him. Of course. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, wow. All right. Grok is the U.S. attack on Venezuela real? Nah, dude, it's all AI, bro. It's all fake. It's fake, dude. It's fake. This strengthens China's hand now. They can go for Taiwan in the same way. Dude, I mean, no. Like, well, okay, so now because the U.S. attacks a country, that means they can't. I see the line of logic, but, let's put it this way, guys. They were already planning on doing that. They're already hoping to do that someday. And they know that no matter what, regardless of what the U.S. does, it's not going to be well received globally. So, Maduro and Khamenei's regimes falling the same day would be an amazing day for the world. Can anyone write anymore? Jesus, man. But yeah, it would be. It would be. It would be. And Khamenei's regime over there in Iran's not doing too well, guys. Full rebellion going on. Oh, and then here we have Jackson Hinkle. Jeez, man. 3.6 million followers he has? Jeez, dude. That's wild that this many people follow this guy. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, these are his these are his subscribers, I guess. Yeah, why are you always on the losing side? Good question. We're going to see all these imbeciles who are waving the Ukrainian flag. Yeah, I don't think that most people who are waving the Ukrainian flag are going to be waving the Venezuelan flag now. I don't think so. Having said that, there were a lot of people who, at the beginning of the war, though, I'm personally a big supporter of Ukraine. At the beginning of the war, they, without really knowing much about it, they immediately put the, Ukraine flags, I stand with Ukraine and everything. And I suppose, it was a little bit cringy in some ways, but at the same time, man, valid outpouring of support. Venezuela media claims air defenses down a U.S. helicopter. Is this true? Hey, Grok, verify. Nope. Let's see, Grok. Reports of explosions in Caracas on the 3rd of January involve U.S. strikes per Reuters. Venezuela accuses the U.S. of aggression. No confirmed evidence from diverse reporters that Venezuelan media claimed or actually shot down a U.S. helicopter. Earlier reports mentioned of downing of unidentified aircraft, but it's not linked here, unverified. So not only does it seem that A, didn't happen, right? It didn't happen that the helicopter was shot down, but B, it seems that Venezuela media never even actually made the claim. Oh, wow. Oh, you gotta look at this. These efforts are next. That's right, guys. Yeah. Fall with them too, you traitorous piece of you know what. That's right. That's right. Yeah, no, honestly, dude, Jackson Hinkle is the worst, man. I mean, this guy is a major, yeah, guns pointed, yeah, dude, he is a traitor. I mean, he's basically a guy. He's a guy, he's born and bred in the U.S., and he claims to be this, this patriotic American, the American flag, but he's completely opposes American interests and opposes the United States at every single turn. Supports all of the enemies of the United States. I mean, he's a traitor. I mean, this guy would be the type who, if the United States was invaded and conquered by Russia or China, Venezuela, Cuba, you name it, he would be one of the guys who'd be working in the collaboration government. No, without a doubt, man. Let's see. Top spy exposed NATO war plans. So this old fart explains interviews former top NATO official and Stasi spy. Guys, Stasi was the, oh my God, horrendously oppressive, secret police in East Germany that, they had like I think it was the highest like per capita percentage of informants of pretty much any regime. I mean, it was severe stuff. It was like, I think it was at every like 3 or 4 people was a Stasi informant. It was insanity. Complete and total police state. So this guy was a Stasi agent. So a communist spy. Yeah, guys. Interviewing a communist spy with a big, big grin on his face about how, he did it all to prevent World War III. What a great guy. What a great guy. So, this guy loves, he loves Russia. He loves the whole Eastern Bloc. He loves the Soviet Union. He loves all of that. Venezuela is not our enemy. Iran condemns the attack on Venezuela. Oh, I bet they do. Trump is attacking Venezuela, so stop talking about Epstein. So that's the narrative, right? That's the narrative that they're going to be doing. That the only reason that that the U.S. is striking Venezuela, the only reason is because of Epstein, right? We're going to start a war because of, we don't want anybody talking about Epstein. Like that's going to make anybody forget about Epstein, right? Come on. Hey, let's come on. Oh yeah, guys, say hello to our cat. Oh yeah, if anyone wants a new cat, take her. Yeah, so we're gonna, he's gonna, little Tommy here. That's his name. He's gonna help me analyze the news for a little bit. Yeah, guys. Yeah, that's the biggest just cope right there. Like, don't get me wrong. Epstein stuff. It's important. It's serious, and it's not looking great. Not looking great at all for Trump. What came out of those recently leaked files. Like, man, it's nasty stuff. Does not make him look good. That's for darn sure. But to say that, oh yeah, this whole reason that he's attacking Venezuela is because of, he doesn't want you thinking about Epstein. That's just ridiculous. It's such a deflection and a cope. Like the two things are, I don't think the two things are connected at all. I mean, literally at all. Yeah, so yeah, the U.S. military attack in Venezuela has begun. The freedom-loving people of the world stand with the historic Venezuelan people, Maduro, and the Bolivarian Revolution. Yeah, guys, I think that all freedom-loving people in the world stand with Maduro. Ah, that's true. It's crazy, dude. The President Petro says the U.S. struck the Venezuelan Parliament building. Oh, wow. If that's true, that's pretty wild. Trump's a war criminal, yada, yada. Bomb the mausoleum of Hugo Chavez. Oh, no. Oh, no. Whatever will we do? Okay. Oh, Cuba's condemned. Oh, guys, we gotta stop now, dude. The Cubans are telling us that's not good. They're shaking we're gonna shake our finger at you. Oh, man. Yeah, I stand with Venezuela. Of course you do, dude. Of course you do. I spoke out against Trump's threats of military intervention in Venezuela in August 2017. Well, you were silent amidst Trump's declaration of war in Venezuela in January 26. F you, Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah, I mean, Tulsi Gabbard is essentially Jackson Hinkle light, but now he's become part of the, Trump administration, so... and now, Jackson Hinkle is upset that she's kind of defected, from or sort of compromised on, their isolationist and axis of resistance sympathizer faction. She's kind of defected from it or compromised on her views on that one. So he's obviously pretty mad about that. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this video was indeed, according to him, the port of La Guaria. It looked like it. vessel at the port appears to be been the target. You know, I read in other places that a oil refinery is the target of that one, but I didn't really see. You know, we can kind of take a look at this. I didn't really see anything in the LaGuardia port that really looked like an oil refinery or anything. What it looked like, to be honest, what this looks like. So we see this side here. So we see this building right here, right? That, I believe, is probably. I think we're looking at one of these buildings here. I think what they struck is this, which what this is, I'm not exactly sure specifically, but it's port infrastructure of one form or another. Yeah, so I'm thinking that this is where they struck. Well, either that or it could have been a vessel that was docked like somewhere right over here or something. But it kind of looks like it's connected on a little strip there. Let's bring this into full screen here. Oh.
No sé si fue un barco.
It says, I don't know if it was a boat or a ship, which means kind of like, you know, it's sort of implies like, I think it might have been a ship. Yeah, I mean, it could be a ship. It could be looking at the hull right here, like containers or something. But then again, we could be looking at like sort of that dock and those like kind of like rectangular buildings on there. And it's just, you're not seeing it right here because that part is blown up. Yeah, well, either a ship or a part of the port infrastructure. Ooh, U.S. imperialism is the enemy of humanity. Oh, no. Let's see what people say. Survival of the fittest. Yeah, I don't really agree with that, but all you do is fear-mongering and whitewashing the East. Yeah. If you can support Russia's war in Ukraine, then why are you complaining about what the U.S. is doing? Yeah, give this a retweet. Or repost, sorry. Yeah, that's exactly it. The road to Tehran is through Venezuela. Iranians have ballistic missiles and drones that can hit every oil field and has demonstrated the ability to close the Strait of Hormuz if needed. Wars are won by logistics. The U.S. and its coalition need a constant flow of oil without burdening our imports, such as Canada and Mexico. So Venezuela is needed. This is also because of mutual interest with billionaires like the Koch brothers, who operate a special refinery in Houston that was built to process the crude from Venezuela as it's more thicker. So it's more thick. Or it's just thicker. Not more, you don't say, anyway, I'm not going to be the grammar police. And also the military-industrial complex. Notice Netanyahu is at Mar-a-Lago and the orders were given. What does that have to do with it? I don't know. So he's saying that, without, the U.S. has to go for Venezuela and take their oil. Otherwise, we can't go for Iran because, they can just destroy all their oil fields and block the Strait of Hormuz. They're capable of blocking the Strait. Whoa. They're capable of blocking the Strait of Hormuz, sure, I suppose, when no one's really opposing them. I mean, it's a small little area, right? I mean, you can hassle whatever ships are there. But I mean, I'm sorry, you bring a U.S. carrier group right here, they're not going to really be able to do anything about it, right? Oh, that's interesting. Kind of off topic, but Hormuz. I thought this island was Hormuz. Apparently, this island itself is actually Hormuz. Go figure. Okay. Well, anyway, drama queen, America isn't taking over Venezuela. Of course we're not. Islamic terrorism, you demask it to CIA and Mossad. Huh. Uh-huh. When America attacks Venezuela, it loses its last moral standing. What happens there will translate into further aggression in the Middle East, where Israel is given free rein without restraint. Wait, hold on. This is a confusing statement to me. So when America attacks Venezuela, it loses its moral standing. Okay, I mean, so you can make that argument. I don't really agree with it, but you can make that argument. But so then wouldn't you say then, okay, this will embolden China, this will embolden Russia, right? This will translate to even further aggression in the Middle East, where Israel is given free rein without a restraint. So because the U.S., like the most important ally Israel has attacks a country, that will lead to Israel not having restraint. So the fact that the U.S. will go after a specific country, that will make us more inclined to give Israel free rein. I don't really see the logic here on that one. That's somewhat odd. Let's see. Oh, hateful conduct. Should we take a look at this? Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, wow. F you. Oh, man. Anyway, we don't need to hang. This is not the Jackson Hinkle comment section stream, guys. So I stand with Venezuela. Oh, pray for Venezuela reconnaissance. Who's this guy? He's got a sock thrown at me. Analysts, geopolitics, history, breaking news, independent, world affairs. Wait, what? Wait. Is this real? Chat? Is this real? So this guy's doing quick updates, but I don't know, man. Google lists of Venezuelan. Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino Lopez is dead. Well, let's see if that's actually true. Not really seeing that. Looks fake to me. Yeah, it seems like a pretty crummy. Seems like a really crummy. Seems like a really crummy. 1 second. So this seems like a really pretty BS page here. Attempt to propose a colonial war to force what's colonial about this? Force regime change, yes, an alliance with the fascist oligarchy. What the hell? I mean, this guy's an idiot, man. So, anyway, this is insane. So, I don't know if this is real, but President Trump says U.S. captured Venezuelan President Maduro and his wife. So, let me see. I think this is on. Yeah, this is on True Social. Let's see. President. So wait, hold on. Donald Trump. Truth Social. Let's see if you can see this without logging in. I'm not sure. I don't have a True Social account, so I'm not sure if you can even see this without logging in. Okay. This is not working right now, all right. Maduro captured.
Algo extraño y un poco aterrador está en el fondo de la piscina. Pero, ¿qué
Yeah.
es? ¿Cómo llegó ahí?
Wow. So 9 minutes ago. Yeah, okay, so this is apparently a real post. Now, whether it's real that he's actually been captured or not, I mean, I don't know yet, but this is real. It's real in the sense that President Trump's actually announced this. The United States of America successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be a news conference today at 11 a.m. Mar-a-Lago. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald Trump. Whoa, 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 whoa. Guys, I said his days are numbered at the beginning of the stream, but I might have been a little bit wrong about how numbered his days actually were. Insane. So earlier, Venezuela's government accused the U.S. of attacking civilian and military installations in multiple states. It has rejected military aggression by Washington. The government of President Maduro had declared a national emergency following a series of attacks. Cuba's president condemns. Let's see. Read there more. Yeah, it came under a month's attention. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I wonder if this is true. That he's actually been captured. Yes, guys, you guys heard it. You heard it first here. This is breaking news. Oh my God. Wow, dude. This is absolutely crazy. It doesn't seem like they have any. Oh, right, yeah, he was indicted in the U.S. courts for narco-terrorism in 2020. Oh, so if it's indeed true that he has been captured, he's going to be flown back into the U.S. and put on trial. Or maybe actually, wait, hold on, well, he's been indicted, so. Yeah. Oh, working with the U.S. fentanyl-laced cocaine. Well, yeah. 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 He's going to jail in the U.S. Man. Wow. Wow. Man, just a couple hours of this. And yeah, man. If this is actually true, that means the Nicolas Maduro regime survived just a couple hours against the United States. That's insanity. That's insane. Guys, beyond insane. So, it's Venezuelans' time. This is the time of freedom. The tyrant has fallen. That's right, folks. Winner of the FIFA Peace Prize. Busy making war in the capital, Venezuela, this morning. Oh, no. Yeah, okay. So not a whole lot of new videos coming out, but wow. Wow. And I'm just kind of saying wow over and over again, but man, what the heck can I say, man? So this is stupid. Howard Beckett, socialist, trade unionist, activist. Oh yeah, there you go. Oh. Surprised, are we? So acts of war to steal oil and minerals. So we got two narratives going around, right? The reason why he's doing this is to steal oil and minerals. The reason why he's doing this is to distract from Epstein, yada, yada, yada. It's just a bunch of crap. U.S. foreign policy has normalized land and mineral theft. I mean, is anyone stealing mineral or what? You know, I mean, I don't know. Like, is it a little like early to say that U.S. is stealing minerals from Venezuela? Like, you know, if later on it happens that, you know, there's minerals just being stolen and taken out of the country, or, you know, some lopsided, you know, trade policies, or like control over mineral resources given over to the U.S., you know, I mean, you could say that, but I mean, like, the strikes are just happening now. You know, there's no indication of how the mineral and oil policy is going to work out after this is all said and done. So it's a little, I mean, at bare minimum, it's a little early to say things like that, wouldn't you say? So international law has been torn up. So, okay, so this is what tore up international law. You know, it wasn't like the Russians going into Ukraine. That's you know, that's not what tore it up. This was, come on. What was run by gangsters masquerading as leaders? Be right back, guys. So this is an interesting post by Fico Gutierrez. Not sure, alcalde de Medellin. Alcalde. I'm not sure what alcalde means. Let's see. Alcalde. Oh, he's the mayor of Medellin. Oh, okay. So from the mayor of Medellin, Free Venezuela. From Medellin, Colombia, we stand with the brother Venezuelan people, not with the dictatorship that destroyed the country and stole the elections. The Petro government, which is the FARC party leader, or the president of Colombia is part of the FARC party, which is kind of insane to me, the fact that that guy got elected or was allowed to be elected, or even allowed to, the FARC was even allowed to run as a political party within Colombia, considering that they basically fought a civil war to defeat them and their communist revolution in Colombia, and basically, essentially, they now have been voted in, so, yeah. The Petro government has been an ally of that dictatorship. It is complicit in what happens there. That is true. Colombia, let's defend democracy, because once it goes, it doesn't come back, or it takes too long to return. So today, the Venezuelan migrant population represents more than 10% of Medellin's population. Wow. There are more than 250,000 Venezuelans who have arrived here fleeing the dictatorship. Jeez. They always hold longing to see it fall, to see the dictator Maduro and all his accomplices fall, and to be able to return to reunite with their families in a free Venezuela. May it be so. Reposting this. Well said, Mr. Mayor. So, obviously we have some mixed responses in X, on X here, and Twitter, or used to be known as Twitter. So, okay. So this shows something. So this is why the channel, or the user we were looking at before was saying, oh, well, Vladimir Padrino Lopez, was marked as dead on Google, which is not the case, but reasons for it, okay, local media channel in Caracas, assuming this is true, you never know, is reporting that airstrikes have targeted the home of Venezuela's Minister of Defense, Vladimir Padrino Lopez. That's probably true. That seems like something that would happen. So that's the guy, old timer. And if you guys noticed, like a lot of the Venezuelan military figures that we've seen, and like just all the videos and photos of their army that I've seen personally, seem to kind of, like, the average age seems to be pretty high. Like, a lot of these guys seem to be old. I'm not sure what the deal with that is, but who knows? So, yeah, right now they're bombing Caracas, alerts the whole world. They've attacked Venezuela. They're bombing with missiles. The OAS and UN must meet immediately. Trump is Simone Bolivar. Well, that's the future, apparently. Long live free Venezuela, may the dictator Maduro fall now, and soon they will come for the neighbor. So I think they're talking about Petro there. You and Lopez Obrador, keep it up. Death to narco-socialism. That's right. Oh, Gustavo Petro. Oh, yeah, this is president of Colombia. Yeah, the FARC president of Colombia. Yeah, so this is the so that's Petro in jail with Maduro. Yeah, they're saying, hey, they're saying the same with Lopez Obrador. Yeah. Yeah, guys. Wow. So we're gonna have to see if that's true that Maduro has actually been captured. And man, crazy stuff. But wow, I don't think there's a whole lot more stuff to touch on for tonight. But yeah, I'll yeah. Wow. Crazy. I just figured I had to do a stream and check out what's going on. Hang out with some of you guys tonight. Give some of my 2 cents on the matter. Personally, look, guys, I'm pretty happy that this is actually happening. I hope that not too many, civilians or anybody's caught in the crossfire. Like it, even one person getting caught in the crossfire who is innocent is obviously a tragedy, and that's something that would make me pretty bummed to hear about civilian casualties happening, as well as U.S. service members, of course, as well. I'm hoping that none of them were hurt, but at the end of the day, look, like you have a communist and a narco-terrorist that's running a country within our hemisphere, and he has been heavily involved with the drug trade, with the fentanyl trade. He is a communist. He is an ally of Russia, of China, of Cuba. The man's got to go. And if they if it's actually true that they were able to capture him just after a few hours of fighting, just a few hours of strikes, disabling their military, and man, I mean, I haven't seen any videos around here of any sort of air defense systems going up against the U.S. planes. They were talking about how, oh man, we have all these Russian air defense systems. They're going to save us, man. The U.S., they come here, they try. They're going to get their teeth knocked in. Well, what happened? Where's the air defense? I honestly expected at least for them to shoot some tracer bullets or something. But I'm not seeing anything. It seems that Venezuela is completely defenseless entirely, and after just a couple hours, it seems that they've been their government, their regime's been brought to their knees. And man, like I said, if it's actually true that Maduro was captured, I'm not sure there's been a cleaner and more effective operation in military history. It's crazy. Absolutely insane. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Have a good one.